Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you are watching and listening to a brand new episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And joining me here, as always, is my co-host Trav, and he's back. Trav, we got the Dragon Balls, and he is finally here. And that is rebellious D.
My backup.
Yeah.
Hey,
right here, Trav, I got you.
D, hey, look, when you were gone,
I had to bring Wilson.
I finally had backup. You know, all of my JoJo brothers and sisters, we was attacking Trav, and it made me happy. It made me happy.
I was on my island with Wilson. And
hey guys, that is something we should do. We should pre-record whoever's going to be out of town, make our own Wilson, and have them put it on their desk. Like they're just
We're
there,
stand them.
like the head detective.
Yep, exactly.
So joining us on today's episode is voice actress Rachel Glass. How are you doing today, Rachel?
I'm doing good.
Hey,
Nice.
I love that because it sounds like we're about to have a fun time here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate having you here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. So, before we get into today's interview, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit the bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. So let's go ahead and get into it. Everybody ready?
Hey, man. Hey, yeah. Trav, you know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Podcast in the description. Please check us out. Check out the YouTube as well. Thank you, everybody.
Hey, D, hey, we had to, do a lot of extra work because you weren't here, man. And I'm glad that you're back. Like for real.
As always,
from the heart.
Banks was complaining.
Oh, no question.
What I had to carry the load.
Hey, I was watching for the shadows. Like
he was extra tired, more tired than usual.
So D, were you in heaven or were you in home for infinite losers?
That's personal information.
God, thank you, Trav. You want my social too?
or were you on King? Were you on King Kyle?
Correct.
Like,
I was hanging out with Bubbles.
Hey, don't worry about where D was. He's here now.
Hey,
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. So Rachel, like I said, thank you again for joining us. Something that we do here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks for all of our guests is we ask them, what is your origin story? Who is Rachel Glass?
Oh, what a great question. I am still discovering that every single day. So, gosh, where to start? I am 27. I live in Texas. I've always lived in Texas. I went to school my whole life here. I went to college around the corner from my high school. So you can say I'm a world traveler if you would like, if your world is real small.
See you with that Scott Pilgrim?
But
you want to see where I grew up? It was right across the street from his apartment.
Yeah, but what's crazy is because they say that everything is big in Texas. And I have friends who live in Texas, and they'll tell me that sometimes it takes about an hour just to get somewhere. So for you to say that, hey, it's right around the corner from us, it's just like, really, it could be like 2 hours. But 2 hours is right around the corner.
That's cute, but it's literally around the corner. You turn left and you go about 3 minutes down the road, and there it is. Yeah.
That's
convenient.
That's this
pretty
hand
damn
right here,
convenient.
the left hand.
Yeah. So I've lived here my whole life. I've been an actress since, well, let's just say I've always been a show off. So probably my whole life too.
Sounds like somebody I know.
Who?
Trav gave me the nod.
Hey, I was just trying to think, like, who is he talking about? That was me. I don't know whether to be offended or to take that as a compliment.
Hey, it's whatever.
Okay. Continue.
However you choose to interpret it is valid. It's valid. Yeah. So I've been an actress probably since I was a small child. My first ever stage role is a church play, and I played a rapping bald eagle. And and I wish I was joking, but I'm really not.
Trav's loving this.
Hey,
I'm trying to see where this is going.
I wish I had some, but I do not. But it was a mess.
So a rapping bald eagle. So did you have the wings? And...
I was in a mascot costume of it's called Young Junior High was the school that we borrowed it from. But I was in a mascot costume.
What were the oh god the things and Power Rangers?
Oh, the Tengu.
Were they called Tengu?
Yeah. In the Power Rangers movie. Yeah.
But that's all I envisioned. Like that, except a bald eagle instead of being purple, and then just rapping about stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how I didn't trip and fall in that costume because it was way too big for me. Because it was made for an adult, and I was definitely in like 6th grade. But
Now, are you gonna spit those bars that
Yeah,
you
I
had,
wanna-
or we want to hear those
Ooh,
bars?
if I could remember them, I would. But no, I have
Hey.
thankfully blocked that from my entire.
Yeah, I was about to
memory.
say she pushed that to the
I
darkest
did,
region.
sure did. I wanted to be Betsy Ross, but I got to be the rapping bald eagle. So little bitter, but I'm over it, obviously.
Rapping bald eagle.
No, I thought she was about to drop them lyrics like the One Piece for Kids intro. That's what I thought. She was
Gotta go.
doing. Yeah, yo.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, no. Lord. So basically my entire like acting career was stage based up until college, probably, where I started getting into film. And then one of my best friends since high school was a part of Funimation, but then she had to go away to college out of state, so she couldn't be a part of it anymore. And there was an open call audition at the end of they used to do these cattle call auditions at Funimation where it would just be hundreds of actors just shooting their shot, reading stuff. I think I read for, like Black Star. Like I read like all of these sides from all these different animes that had already been produced.
Mhm.
And I think they were just looking for people who like didn't copy or like try to give impressions, you know?
Yeah.
So I just gave him a best shot. I was auditioned by Kyle Phillips in my senior year of college. And about a couple months later, he called me in for some Walla sessions, which is background recording. And then I was at Funimation. So
Wow.
yeah, it's really
That's
it's
just
good.
history.
Yeah, pretty
how
much.
it is.
Yeah.
Like, no, I love how, and I want to piggyback off of this.
Yeah.
You said when you had went in for the auditions, one thing that we always hear from a bunch of voice actors is it's best to always use your voice instead of, doing impressions and whatnot, because it's like, you never know. Like you said, they're not looking for impressions. They're not trying to see if you can sound like this person. They want to hear your voice. And you had the magic voice, just like how Charlie had the golden ticket, and bam, that's the end of the story.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
only the beginning of the story.
Yeah,
sir.
hopefully.
Prologue.
Yeah. See, the thing I think a lot of like newer voice actors and actors in general don't understand is that if you're copying someone, they already have access to the copy that you're trying to copy, and they do it better because they're the original.
Yeah.
You know? So like if you're trying to do Goku, they already have Goku. So they
like
want
ripping somebody else's song, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally,
Bad
not
idea.
even changing it. Yeah.
Yep.
Unless it's a super bad impression, which can have like its own merit by itself. It's like if you do
If you're that lucky.
if you do like a really bad, I don't know, Steve Buscemi, and like you can make it into a character, like go for it. But yeah, they're not looking for impressions. They're looking for your voice, your authentic voice, delivering lines, delivering things as authentically as possible. Yeah.
Yeah, when you had said something about like if you do like a bad impression, I was thinking about William Hung when he was on American Idol. And it's like he went up there, he did his best, and he got a CD out of it too. You know what I'm saying?
He got a full karaoke CD out of it.
Yeah,
So.
you know what I'm saying? So where is William Hung? Because he was hot. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody loved William Hung back in the early 2000s.
She banged, she moved.
She banged, she banged, she moved, she moves.
Hopefully he invested his money and now he sits in a house all day and does nothing.
Does nothing except
the dream.
singing karaoke.
Yeah.
Hey, what if he owns like his own karaoke bar?
If he's smart, yeah,
that would be dope if he does. But yeah, like it's cool that you started early on in your life with doing acting, because it's like you said, you were a show off.
Yeah.
Now with voice acting and anime in general, like what were some of the animes that you watched growing up, and were they inspirations for you to want to get into voice acting?
Funnily enough, no. I loved cartoons, but I wasn't ever like, I didn't know how they were made, and I was way too interested in like books and video games to be like, I should figure this out. But I was a huge fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon.
Of course.
Those are my go-to staples, and I don't even remember most of Yu-Gi-Oh other than the vibe, and it really called to me.
That intro song.
Oh god, so good. And then it's like the card, and he's like always down.
They slam the card.
Yes. Oh god, it was just. To a child, I was like, "This is art."
No,
and remember on 4Kids, it's like instead of guns, they just had the fingers up.
Yeah.
Just like, come with us.
Watch out, Tristan. They're coming.
Your boy Bandit Keith, he had enough of Pegasus. He pulled the 9 off.
Yep.
Like, geez.
Classic moment. Dude, I remember when we found that out. I was like, "What? This guy pulled a gun on him." Bandit Keith.
But no, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, those are classics. Those are well-beloved series. Now, this is something that we kind of asked some of our guests because you said that you were into Pokemon. Were you a fan of Digimon as well?
No, I wasn't.
Dang,
yeah, it's really funny because I think I have a core group of friends from high school that we're still friends with. They're like my sisters. And they were all Digimon people, and I was the only person who was super into Pokemon. So they were talking about like Gabomon and all these other things. I was like, what the crap is that? I don't even know what that is. Is that a disease? What's going on? And then they made me watch like the Digimon movies. I was like, this doesn't make sense. These don't make sense. Why are we watching this? But you do things. You do things to have friends in high school, and you're like,
of course,
these nerds. I like them.
I feel like that's good.
Blood rituals and stuff.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
So did you ever watch? Did you ever watch any Pokemon, or were you? I mean, not you. Wait, other way. Did you ever end up watching Digimon at all? Or
I watched the movies and I learned through osmosis mostly with my friends, with them talking and me just sitting there going, "Oh, this is fascinating. Who are these people?"
That's crazy. I feel like that is a bad introduction into Digimon.
It is
because the movie wasn't that good, and especially like when you get older and thanks to YouTube, you can look into the reason why the movie was the way it was. Like in Japan. It was, I believe it was like 2 OVAs, but for the movie, it's like they just spliced everything together, and like there was scenes that didn't make any sense at all. And the reason why Fox did that was because they were just like, "Hey, WB did that with Pokemon. We need to put our own thing out." And the Digimon movie was just bad. Especially, what was that cartoon that played before it? I think it was like Amanda Anaconda or something like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking? It was like the paper. I don't know, it was weird. It was weird, but yeah, I feel like that was a bad introduction to the world of Digimon, because Digimon, it is a good show. But
yeah, I've heard great things. There's tons of fans who will defend it to the death, so I'm sure it's great. But like it wasn't like the thing that I was introduced to. Like I didn't have it on my like 6 channels we had when we were growing up. So yeah.
But Pokemon, Digimon, to keep it on the Pokemon topic, I would assume that you were a fan of the Pokemon video games because you were a fan of Pokemon the show. So let's go back to the first Pokemon game that you had. Who were your 6 Pokemon that you had up there?
Oh God.
Hey, I still remember mine: Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, Mewtwo, Pidgeot, and Vaporeon.
I could never catch Mewtwo, but I would do. I always did Charmander to start off with.
I love this.
I would find Pidgey, so get all the evolutions of that. I would get a Gyarados because I worked as hard as I could to get a Gyarados every time because I just used it as a powerhouse. So that's 3. Oh God, what else did I use? I want to say I had Eradicate at one point, but I was a child, so I didn't really understand how Pokemon worked. Because my first one was, I think my first Pokemon video game was like, it was on a tiny purple Game Boy Advance, and it was Pokemon Red, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, I did those. Oh God, what did the starter put? Butterfree. I always had Butterfree if I could find it, and Rapidash. Yeah, I think that's it.
That's just.
Do I have one more? Yeah. No, I think that was 5. Beedrill. Beedrill.
Okay, so you got a mixture of like bug types in there, fire. Yeah. Now for your Gyarados, did you actually level up your Magikarp the legit way, or did you?
Yes,
cheat?
I did.
Okay.
No, I did the legit way, and I was so mad that there were cheats that no one told me about.
Yeah, that rare candy glitch.
The rare candy.
Just keep on sliding up and down on the island and fighting missing number. That's how it's crazy. Like all my Pokemon were at level 100, and back then it's like it really took the fun away from the game because like you could just kill the other well, not kill, but make them faint.
Yeah, make them faint.
Make them faint.
No killing a Pokemon.
Yeah, no, I would start off with freaking Magikarp, and then it would get hit, and then I'd switch it out for like Charizard, and so it would get half the EXP, and then I do that for years, and then finally get a Gyarados. Oh gosh, that was.
Now they've smartened up, and all the Pokemon get EXP.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Those like those RPG games back in the day, because remember, it's like you had your core characters that you played with, but then it's just like I don't really play with this person, but I do want to level them up, and I just love how down it's just like everybody gets EXP. And it's like,
it makes more sense.
It's like you don't have to play with certain characters. And
well, remember because like. They would come into this. I remember I never liked playing with Irvin and Final Fantasy VIII.
I love
but like you gotta level him up because there's a point in the game where he has to be in your party. It's mandatory. Yeah. And like if you don't level him up, you screwed, bro. Like, he's gonna get worked.
I'm playing Genshin Impact, and the interesting thing when you need a character in your party, they just add him as a fifth. You don't necessarily have to switch anybody.
Right.
Which is something I appreciate because of what you brought up, Trav. Situations like that really stink. Especially when you don't like a character, you have no chemistry with them. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that too. They just kind of sneak it in. Yeah. And that's why it's like Genshin, they give you the option, you know. It's just there as a fifth.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Genshin.
So one of the things that I want to bring up to take it back to voice acting. The first time I heard your voice was in one of my favorite animes, My Hero Academia. You voiced Bakugo's mother. And like, how interesting was that? Because it's like Bakugo, he's already a hothead. And then like his mom, she's even more of a badass than he is. You know, because it's like nobody can tame Bakugo, but his mom, she can tame him. And the dad, he just sits there. He's just like, I don't know what to do. I can't control my son. I can't say anything to my wife. He reminds me of what is his name? Flanders from the Simpsons.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
He looks like him.
Yeah.
I
actually like that comparison.
It's so funny about Bakugo's mom because I got the role on a accident. I think I was doing Walla for one of the episodes. I think it was it was like in the first season, where you just hear her voice at the very end of the episode, like yelling at him to get back in the house or something like that. And Colleen just needed Colleen Klinkenbeard, who was the director, still is, of the first season. She was just like, can you do a yelling mom? And I was like, sure, absolutely. Because you don't say no. Right. You know? You're not going to say no. You're going to give it your best shot. And if she needs to redo it later, you know, so it happened. I gave the yell and she was like, oh, wow. And I was like, thank you. I'm gonna go cry now, but thank you. But yeah, it was very weird. And then in episode 50, whenever we were recording that forever ago, I got called in and she was like, "Hey, I just wanted to hear your voice because I didn't hear it in actuality whenever we were recording the first time, whenever I cast you." And I came in and I have a pretty low register normally whenever I'm just speaking, you know, like this. And she was like, "Oh, good. You don't have one of the high voices." And I was like, "Oh, sorry." But she was going to let me have a shot at it. And then if I wasn't able to produce the same amount for a longer scene, then she was going to recast me. And I was like, totally fair. Please give me a shot. Yeah. So she didn't, and I got to keep the role. So I was very excited about that. But yeah, it just came off of a whim, which I've gotten quite a couple of roles like that, which is, it's being in the right place at the right time and having like the gumption to back it up and believe in yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I love that.
Believe it.
Yeah, believe it.
Now, do you read the manga?
No, I do not. It's too long.
Okay. Well, spoiler alert, she does return later on in the manga. So hopefully when she comes back that you get to voice her again.
I certainly hope so. Yeah. Now, I love her. She's a mess, but I love her.
Now, something that's interesting about this, and I don't know if you knew about this, but Kim Rhodes, who was the mom on Zack and Cody, somebody had tweeted to her one day that she's the real life version of Bakugo's mom because she looked like, I'm looking at a picture of her right now, and she had on the same outfit and everything, and she was just like, I don't know what this is, but if y'all think that I'm Bakugo's mom, then I'm Bakugo's mom. So we're saying this here now.
Saw that.
If there is ever a live action My Hero Academia movie, make Kim Rose Bakugo's mom.
Absolutely.
She's already saying, I want the role. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember the actor who played Ben Grimm in the Fantastic Four movie. Trav, do you know his name?
Yeah.
I know him from was he on the Shield?
Shield, yeah, he's on Shield.
Yeah, okay, I can't think of his name.
And he was just in another superhero thing.
I'm looking it up. But I know he said that when it was announced that there was a Fantastic Four movie coming out, he was just like, I've always been a Ben Grimm fan and I want the role. And he went and he got it just like that. I mean, like when you look,
he actually does a really good job with Ben.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like he did a really good job. I mean, he was one of the better parts of the Fantastic Four movie that came out back in the day. But I wanted to ask you, who's your favorite character on My Hero Academia?
I know I should stick with Bakugo because he's my son, but it's not. It's Todoroki. I love him so much.
Nice.
I just love him. He's so angsty, fire and ice boy, and I fell in love with him. I was like, oh, you poor bean. Come here. But yeah. No. And I know I know that's like one of like the big three that you can pick, and I'm like, I know I'm gonna be standard, but he's just so cute. I love his little face. I want good things for him. That's right.
No, you're fine, because my favorite is Deku, and like these guys always get on me. I always choose the main characters. I mean, like that's
fair.
That's cornball.
That's just me. I can't help it that these main characters in shows are so well written that I really like them. Like Gon is my favorite character on Hunter x Hunter. I love characters who you can relate to, who you share similarities with in real life. And like Deku, he's one of those people. I mean, it's like Deku is one of the characters where it's like, if you've ever dreamed of doing something and you were always told that you couldn't do it, and you never gave up on that dream, and then to finally have to be in the right place at the right time, kind of like how Rachel was saying, it's like, he was able to fulfill his dream, and now he's setting goals for himself so that way that he can be the number one hero. So like that's, with me being a professional wrestler, when I used to wrestle, like that was one of the things that I was always told. It's like, you'll never be a wrestler. It's just like, why do you want to do that stuff? It's dumb. Like everybody always crapped on my dream, but I never let other people's opinions stop me from doing what I wanted to do.
Exactly. And there's something, I agree with you about Deku, because there's something about Justin Briner's vocal quality. And I don't know how he does it, but he's just so at the same time earnest, but so kind-hearted. Like you get it from his voice, and I am jealous every time. And the fact that he's done it over how many seasons now? 4 seasons coming up? Five seasons. Yeah, I was like, 5. That's a marathon that I don't think a lot of people understand how much that takes out of your voice. But like he just keeps that innocence and that earnest quality. It's like, I'm gonna do it, and you're just, yes you are, you got it. It's like you want to root for him.
Have you ever heard him talk regular?
Yes, I have, and he honestly
sounds the same, right?
Yeah. He's such a genuinely delightful, kind person. You're like, you are Deku, aren't you?
And he looks Deku. Like he sounds too.
Yeah. He's so nice. He's like, oh yeah, no, hi, it's nice to meet you. And I'm like, it's nice to meet you, Deku.
I would probably say the same thing. So I wouldn't even call him by his real name. I would just call him Deku. Same thing like with Sean Timmel. It's like I would just call him Goku. You know what I mean? That's it's just crazy because it's like these are people who we either grew up watching or we're currently watching right now, and then it's like, this is who I identify you with. I mean, I'll say for any anime that you watch, because I know with voice acting, you can voice multiple characters, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes as fans, we just stick that one person with that one character, like Kyle Bear, for example. It's just like, whenever I think about him, I just think about Gohan. You know what I'm saying? And he's done a lot of stuff. I know.
And that's wild, though, because I always just think of the narrator. Like, yeah, Gohan, sure. But I always think about him narrating. You know, I always think of, if you bring up Kyle Bear, I always think of next time on Dragon Ball Z. That's my go-to.
Yeah.
I know
kind of
D,
iconic.
Yeah, I know for D, he thinks of Aizen.
Of course. I mean,
and who was
Aizen was such a good.
Oh, in JoJo, he was Kakuin.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can bounce around. I mean, Justin
he
Brenner.
has some iconic roles. Aizen's probably one of the worst villains.
Absolutely.
I love the setup. It was just, it kind of went downhill. You know, we're not going to talk about that. Aizen's fun enough. We knew Aizen too, didn't we, Banks?
I know, yeah, in real life.
We knew him in real life. Went to school with a guy like that.
So, Rachel, another voice acting question. Yeah. What are some of your favorite roles that you've done?
Oh gosh. I try to find something I love in all of them, but I will say Leo from One Piece is probably up there because he's just so earnest and he's so delightful to voice every time, because he always says these like uplifting, like, I believe in you kind of things, or like, we're gonna do it, we can do this and stuff. Oh gosh, the little Tontaro, they're just so cute. And I say it all the time whenever I'm recording, that I feel like they can only feel one emotion at a time, and it's usually like, let's go kick some ass, you know, like, let's go. Yep. And it's just so beautiful to play this little guy who's like this big, who's just full of chutzpah, you know?
That's what you get on an amazing show like One Piece, though.
That is correct again, Trav.
That's right.
I love.
We'll take One Piece for 500.
Here we go.
The daily double.
Hey, Trav, I know you're happy that D is back.
Here.
I know you're happy.
Hey, just wait till me and Trav run the ship when you're out of town. Boy,
y'all gonna crap on JoJo?
Oh yes, sir.
Not even
all
just
the
that.
live long day.
We spend an all episode talking about One Piece.
Oh yes.
What we doing?
We about to plan that undercover debate. You ain't gonna be here to defend it.
Now, Rachel, were you a fan of one? Like, what do you even watch?
I will be honest, I don't watch a lot of anime.
So what do you watch?
I watch a lot of Netflix, but I mostly read and play video games, I'll be honest.
Okay.
I watch Fire Force. I'm on the first part of season 1. I don't know. I'll watch anything I have an audition for, just to get a feel for anything. I watch on Netflix. I watch Shadow and Bone. I just started that.
Oh, nice!
Hey,
I'm watching that right now.
That's a good book series too.
Yes, it is. I think it's 7.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about it. I'm on like almost the last episode, but I'm on
episode.
I want to savor it.
It's so good.
Yeah, I want to savor it because I know it's going to be like another year and a half before we get the second season. So.
Yeah, you don't want to binge it, and that's the issue with these streaming apps. Sometimes it's like you can just get through something fast if you want to.
Rachel, do you have a favorite character on Shadow and Bone?
I love Mal.
Oh, nice.
I love him so much. I just think he's so cute, and I love the. I
like Jasper.
Jasper's amazing.
Yeah, he's such a fun character.
He's so freaking hilarious. Yep. Oh gosh, I want to talk about a part in the show that literally made me cry laughing, but it's a spoiler, so I can't. But
hold on. We do
spoil stuff all the time.
We spoil stuff all the time.
Spoiler alert.
Let me do the countdown real quick. Right. For anybody that's watching and they don't want to be spoiled right now, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, there's a scene where Jasper is like the getaway guy on this heist, and they're stealing a person. So the 2 people inside the castle fail at stealing her, and they come out, they're all defeated. And Jasper's by himself, and he's just waiting. And then the person they're stealing like hops over a fence and like creeps into the carriage that Jasper has gotten for their getaway thing, hops in the back of the luggage, and Jasper just stands there and he's like, no one's gonna believe me. I love how
lucky he is throughout. It's kind of like a luck thing with him. Yeah.
So it was just very delightful, fun. And his actor just played it so well. Of just like, is this? That's no.
He's a really good casting. I haven't read the books yet, but
beautiful.
I would imagine he's a really good cast for the character.
Yeah. And then the other two characters come out, and they're like, "We lost her," and he's like, "No, we didn't."
No, that's right.
Get in the carriage. Let's go.
I'm actually trying to get Banks to watch it right now. Actually, it's funny.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
What Zero, Jupiter's Legacy, and I'm gonna be honest. It's kind of hard right now. That's what she said.
You can't answer it yourself
because I got to beat Trav to the punch.
But it's like you're practicing in the mirror. That's what she said. Like, come on.
It's like it was an episode of Chappelle's Show where this guy was up there beatboxing and he was rapping to his own. He was rapping to his own rap, and then when he did the punchline, he was his own hype man, and like it was just like, how can you hype yourself up and not give the people that's listening to give you a chance to hype it up? But yeah, dang, I snowballed. I forgot what I was even talking about.
Yes, you did. Well, you're bringing up titles.
You need to watch Shadow and Bone as well.
So no, part 4, season 3 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh my God, what does JoJo got to do with anything?
Well, I mean, it's just so hard for me because it's like I want to watch new stuff.
I've already seen it.
I know that's my problem. Like it's like, bro, you already know. I watched My Hero Academia, Heroes Rising, like over 100 times now.
I freaking love that film. Oh my God.
Okay,
so good.
Since you love it, how did you feel about the ending?
Try buckle up. Buckle up.
Well, I haven't watched it 100 times. It was the last movie.
Nobody has.
I watched it. The last movie I watched in theaters before the world shut down.
Same.
So I'll be honest, the animation made me weep. So I have no faults in that movie, and I love it a lot. So I liked it. I don't have a ton of opinions on the ending because I wasn't caught up with the actual show before I watched it. So, and my best friend who is caught up on the show was like, "This happened. Don't worry, it's okay." So I was like, "Oh, cool, great."
Yes. Well, me and Trav went to go see it in theaters. Like I was ripping on to him. I was just like.
Held that hand tight.
I was just like, no more One for All. Like, it really is?
Yeah, you're gonna end it in a movie? Yeah.
But
it's like, can you imagine if like they was just like, this is it? This is the end of My Hero Academia. But it's just like, well, how is this the end when season 4 is still
what
out?
About?
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Wait a minute. Yeah, no, the Bakugo Deku thing at the near end, and I was like, no, they're not, and then they did, and I was like, oh, cool. What?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I knew where we were going, and then we went left, and now we're back, I guess.
We do that a lot on this podcast, and
you know, it's we say it in when we're voice acting a lot. It's like it's anime. Anime. It's logic.
Anime logic, and then especially since it was a movie logic, a lot of the movies that come out, while some of the newer ones now are canon, you know, they're like movies like Heroes Rising, it wasn't canon at all.
Yeah.
And I do love how in the manga now, it's like they have taken parts from the first and the second movie, and like they put them in the manga, but it's just like it's kind of like it was just made for the manga.
Yeah,
and it's new to it's new to the characters in the manga, so it didn't happen. But to keep it on the My Hero Academia thing and to kind of roll it back to video games, you did voiceover work in the My Hero Academia One's Justice 2. So how was that? Like, you know, you grew up playing video games, you're doing voice acting, and it's like now you're in a video game.
It was very surreal, I will tell you that. Mostly because I didn't think I was gonna be in a video game for My Hero Academia, but and then they were like, no, there's a story mode and Bakugo's mom's in it, and I was like, oh, the puzzle pieces are fitting together, I'm getting it now. So I got I think it was either a direct message or an email from the casting director or one of the admins at Okatron, which is in North Dallas in Plano. And they were like, hey, we're doing casting, or we're doing the audio for My Heroes One Justice. You're now under NDA, don't talk about this. And I was like, okay, sure, absolutely. And then I saw how much they were going to pay me for very little of my time. And I was like, oh, I am absolutely going to be there. You have no problem. I will do anything you'd like. So I think it was literally 15 minutes of my time. And it didn't take even 15 minutes to record because they took the words pretty much verbatim from the anime. And I just redid it, but for them. Yeah. So, yeah, it was delightful.
I kind of wanted to piggyback off of what you were saying about when you went in and somebody had contacted you, because, you know, here at Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks, we've interviewed a lot of voice actors. And, you know, I just want to ask, was that person, was that Mr. Nazir Tarsha?
It was, yeah. Yeah. Totally cool dude, very chill. Yeah, he was there. I think Brittany Lauda was there directing something else. I want to say Kellen Goff was in there recording for Overhaul, or he was like he just finished recording for Overhaul in the game, but I'm not 100% sure because we didn't introduce ourselves. We just went, hi, nice to meet you, hi. So this is pre-pandemic where we could actually be within like 6 feet of each other. Yeah. But it was great.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and Nazir, everybody that's listening and watching, I don't know why I said listening, but listening and watching,
I like it.
You can check out our episode with Nazir. It is on our YouTube and it is on any music streaming or podcast app.
That's
so
right.
Make sure that you check that out as well. Gotta make sure that you drop the name and plug them.
Yeah,
now,
that's right.
Another video game question. What video games are you currently playing right now?
Oh, currently right now I am playing the remastered Mass Effect. I'm still on the first one because I, have work and stuff. And then I'm playing the DLC for Immortals Phoenix Rising, rather, sorry, which is on Switch. Yeah, it's hilarious. It's such a good game. And yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah. Oh, I was playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla pre that, which is also an amazing game.
What'd you think of that?
I loved it. I thought there might have been too much story, honestly, but I love having big open sprawling maps just to go run around and be an idiot. And so yeah, I genuinely enjoyed it. I loved all the Viking stuff. I loved the way that they changed how you level up your gear in the game, so you're not just trashing weapons over and over, which wouldn't happen. You'd keep it until it's done. So like historically. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed the game. I loved all the Norse mythology in it, which I'm a huge history nerd, so that was delightful. And then how they went, none of that happened. Here's this. I was like, no, wait. Yeah, I really enjoyed that game.
Yeah, it was a good bounce back for the series.
Yeah, it really was. Like, I liked Origins and Odyssey, but I feel like they were just the same game but different skins on top of them. So I was like, okay, sure.
Was Odyssey the one with the bugs? Banks?
Yes.
No. Hold on. It was
There's
Origin.
been so many now, man.
It was
I've played them all.
Odyssey was the one where they were.
The Greek one.
The Greek one. The one you're talking about, it came out on the 360 and PS3.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, remember, it's like the bugs were horrible.
It's the French Revolution one.
Yeah.
Unity.
That's it.
Yeah.
That game was hot garbage.
Garbage.
It was not good.
Garbage.
Garbage.
Yeah. It's crazy. For Assassin's Creed, I want to say the last one I played was Revelations. Revelations was the last. Yeah, because it just started getting to the point with the games where it's just like it felt like they were
repetitive.
Repetitive, and like there were better games that were out at the time that I rather had played instead of continue to play Assassin's Creed. Same thing like with Call of Duty. Yeah. Even the WWE games. It's like you play them over and over and over again, and it's pretty much the same thing. So I'm happy that the games are fun again. And Trav, go ahead and do that name drop because you interviewed the voice actress from Valhalla.
Right, I got to have a conversation with Cecile Stenspijk. Pike, how you say her name? Something right there. She's Dutch, so I might be butchering that last name, but she was an absolute treasure. She was so nice, and yeah, I'm glad that that franchise is starting to find success again.
Yeah, I think they're picking up on the fact that most people like playing in the historical part more than they like playing in the modern part.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was smart.
It was very smart on their.
It was a good way to kind of mix it up, like with doing pirates and Viking. It's just nice. It was a nice change of pace.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I agree.
Yeah, no, because I know Desmond. He ended up getting killed, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. I'm sorry. I mean,
that was yeah.
It
It came out forever ago. So.
That's what I was about to say. That was years
I think we're
ago.
good.
Yeah. If they don't know now, they're not gonna know. And
I was about to say that they don't play the franchise. So.
Yeah. No, I remember playing when Desmond died, and I was like, "Are you kidding?" Like I rage quit. I was so mad. I was like, "What the Sam hell do you mean?"
Did you
the
see the
main
movie?
character died? Which one?
What'd you think of the movie? The live
Oh
action
no,
movie?
I did not see the movie. I knew it was going to be a garbage heap, so I just.
It's not though. It's
really?
not great. It's not great, but it's not a garbage.
Oh, okay.
It's not. I don't know if you saw the Warcraft movie.
No.
That's a garbage heap. God awful.
I don't know, man. It's always something about video game and anime live action movies where
those big screen adaptations, man, they just don't.
They don't translate.
I don't know.
Like they don't watch it sometimes. Like they don't know what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
it's the way it seems.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you haven't seen Monster Hunter yet,
I'm good on that. I
heard
that.
You gotta watch.
Oh no! Hey, I don't even watch the Resident. Hey, I don't watch the Resident Evil movies anymore. When I saw your girl was in it, I'm good on it. No, ain't none of that. Hold on, Rondell.
No, me and
they didn't do my man. Look, they didn't do Leon no justice. They didn't do Chris no favors.
Right? Yeah.
They made up Alice for the movies. I'm good, Trav.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think what was it? Was it Resident Evil Extinction that we had went to go see in theaters, and you had snuck two of your friends in, and then the movie theater.
Thanks, bro. Are we still live on the air?
This guy's.
Looks like it says recording in the corner.
Hey, no. It's funny because I want to say this was also the first time that we had saw the trailer for Iron Man. And,
easy, man. Movie theaters are hurt, bro. They're coming for all that money they can.
Hey, I just remember me and D, we were sitting there watching it, and he went and let two of his friends in, and then the movie theater people, they can't, like, I want to say we were like the only 4 people in the theater, and the movie theater people, they was just like, we saw on camera that y'all came in here. I was just like, I'm surprised they ain't kicking D out too,
Hey, I paid for mine. They bust up in there like the vegan police from Scott Pilgrim.
That's right.
Milk and eggs. So good times. Don't tell stories like that on there.
I know it. No, it makes for good times, man.
Cut that out
because it don't involve banks getting
exactly.
Exactly.
Like Uncle Joey said, cut it out.
That's right.
I know, but I guess we can keep it on the video game talk. Like, what were some of your favorite video games that you played growing up?
I used to think that I was really good at like Mario Kart and stuff like that, but then I realized that my brother just unplugged my controller during it. So
wow, jeez.
Yeah. He's a butt, but he's my brother, so
that's right.
What's the age difference then?
Oh God, he is 6 years older than me.
Oh, that's why.
He was just picking with you.
He was well within his rights, but I thought I was like an ace of Mario Kart when I definitely was not. So
that's messed up. I mean, because it's like you could have still played and kept crashing into the wall while he just won the race. I mean, I used to do that with all my siblings all the time when we played.
But you do that just so you can smash people because that's the kind of person you are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting in practice.
He wants to be like Deku.
I'm getting
keep telling me
in practice though, because at least now I can learn all the tricks and shortcuts on the map compared to playing against the computers. Because I already know that my siblings, they're just gonna keep crashing into the wall. But sometimes they would smarten up and they would it's like what is it like with the Terminators? They were starting to become self-aware and they got good at the game. Like when my brother beat me in one of the WWE video games, I was just like, "Are you serious?" Like, It's like these are my games, and you beat me. Like my brother, he's the reason why I stopped playing the Madden games. Like what? Because I used to beat him all the time when we were kids, and then when he
see the kind of sore loser he is.
Yep.
I'm
just thinking about him being like Deku. I'm trying to compare him to a real character right now. Keep talking back.
He's like Endeavor. He's more like Endeavor.
Don't compare me to Jesus. No, I'm not gonna burn my son.
God,
we know.
And I hope not. If he is, we're in trouble.
Yikes.
No, I'm not in Denver. No.
Yeah. No, I remember a time where I beat my brother in, I think it was like Mortal Kombat, one of the original games, just by button mashing, and he was so angry.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a hard L, because it's like, you've been good at something your entire life, and you lose. It's kind of like Kaiba when he lost to Yugi. You know what I'm saying?
Or lose.
Yeah.
Didn't he lose to Joey too? Because he said that Joey had like
he didn't lose to Joey.
He never lost to Joey?
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, he beat Joey's ass, bro.
Yeah, I think Joey got close one time.
Joey thought he got close. Kaiba was just playing with him.
Yeah. Hey, no question.
It might have been he got close because like Kaiba was running backwards. You know what I mean? Or something.
Hey, take it easy.
And had to turn around at the last minute.
Just remember, Joey said, he told him, you don't want these hands. Him and Tristan, they was about to clip him up.
Hey, what happened when Joey came at Kaiba though?
Take it easy.
Kaiba put him on his ass.
Yeah. Look, Kaiba, you gotta understand, man. Like this dude, he runs his own company.
Well, Kaiba had a hard life coming up.
Now this makes me think about something. Like, who would win in a fight between Kaiba and Bruce Wayne?
Dude, Bruce Wayne.
Come on, bro.
So? I mean, because Kaiba had them hands though. Like,
come on. That's not a real question.
I'm talking about Bruce Wayne, like
the martial artist.
The martial artist Bruce Wayne. Yeah.
Yes.
Look, the suit don't make the hero, bro. The suit does not make that guy.
I'm just saying.
Bruce Wayne would whoop Kaiba's ass. It's not even a question. At first, when he said Bruce, I thought he was going to say Bruce Lee, and I was about to exit the damn chat.
No.
Bruce Wayne or Kaiba.
I wouldn't do that, man. But no, so Rachel, what are some, because I know you say you don't really watch a lot of anime, or you do watch it when you want to study up on some of the characters and whatnot. Yeah. Are there any anime that's out there right now or that's coming out, or maybe some anime that's like really popular, like Demon Slayer, for example? Are those some animes that you would love to be on?
Yeah, absolutely. I will never turn down a role. I've been in some really terrible anime, and I've been in some really great anime. So I don't judge it. I judge it for what it is. I think all anime has some redeeming feature, even if it's just, stimulating the economy. So yeah, I'll take it.
That's right.
I'm always, I don't think of myself as someone who is like ever too good to take anything. Because the moment you do that is the moment you're like too big for your britches, as we would say in the South, and you lose. You've lost. You know,
britches.
Yeah,
britches.
Too big for your britches.
Sir.
Yeah,
you get nothing.
You get nothing. Yeah, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Classic.
You get nothing.
I pull that clip up even now sometimes to watch it. It is so fun. The delivery is so good.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah,
who's that? Gene Wilder, right?
Yeah.
Gene Wilder. Shout out to him, man. R.I.P.
Here's something even crazier, right? Two things. First, the candy guy, who sings the song at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
He smacks the little girl in the head with the door, and I guess I never noticed it as a kid until it was brought to my attention in like a documentary.
He really did it?
But yeah, he smacked her with the door, but they just didn't reshoot
it. They did that with a lot of stuff like that, man.
Back in the day. But the other thing is, too, I guarantee you that man did not think that song was going to be so hot in 2021 to where it's like, that song's been in like 3 different technology commercials.
Yeah.
Right now it's on the Apple iPhone commercial.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know they didn't think this.
I hope he's getting residuals. That's all I know.
What's the one song that's playing on the iPhone commercials about no, not that one. The mind your own business. Have y'all seen that commercial where the guy, he's walking around and like all of these. He has all of these cookies, like these cookies apps, and like they're able to see everything that he's doing. And it's a new feature on the iPhone where you can turn it off so that way.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like
the app tracking.
Yeah, the app tracking. Yeah, thank you. And the song, because I looked it up because I thought it was like a newer song or something, but it came out in the 80s. So it's just always interesting when you see songs that came out decades ago and they get used in commercials or on TV shows or something, and then they blow up. And then it becomes number one on iTunes or something like that.
Yeah. Just like Mariah Carey every Christmas ends up back on the charts.
Yeah, every Christmas.
God
you
help
already
us.
know. You already know. So, Rachel, what are some of your hobbies that you're into? We know you play video games. Mm-hmm. We know that you read books. Yep. Travis, he when it comes to books, like he's our book guy. So I'm pretty sure he's going to ask you a question on like what are some of the books that you read. But like, what are some of your hobbies that you like to do when you're not voice acting or doing any of the other stuff you told us about?
I'm also a seamstress, so I do a lot of cosplay.
Nice.
I scroll on TikTok a lot. It's a hobby, I guess. I love playing with my pets. Yeah, I have a ton of hobbies. I mostly am at work.
Work's my favorite.
Yeah, God, it's so great. But most of my work stuff is my hobby, if that makes sense, because I work as a seamstress at a costume shop. So
nice.
It works. And then I'm an actress, so voice acting. Nice. Yeah. I do a lot of reading, like a lot in video games.
I feel like that is always a gateway or a getaway into another world. I just started 100%. Doing this series on our YouTube channel called Who's That Cosplayer? And one of the cool things about cosplaying is, you're being somebody, you can be whoever you want to be when it comes to cosplay. Now, I did see on your Twitter that you did a costume. It was because forgive me, like I started watching She-Ra, but I'm not that well versed into it. But you cosplayed as somebody from She-Ra.
Yes.
I can't. Catra. Thank you. Thank you. But who are some of the other cosplays that you've done?
Okay, so with my friend group from high school, we're all nerds. So they got me into anime and they got me into cosplaying. And then I turned that into something that I can sell, which is sewing. So I've cosplayed since I was 15, maybe. So I've done a ton. Like Officer Jenny, I've done Katara from Avatar, like the Fire Nation disguise. I've done Fawn from the Tinkerbell series. I've done Shaoran from Tsubasa. I've done, Catra. I have Isabelle from Dragon Age 2. I have a ton. I freaking love dressing up. I've done Bakugo's mom. I've done Elma. I love cosplaying as characters I voice because no one knows and it's a secret. It's just me until I go, I voice them. And they're like, no, you don't. They're like, no, you don't. And I was like, I sure freaking do. Bye. And like, I never see them again.
That's right.
It's one of those things where it's just like, it's like you do the voice in front of somebody and then it's just like, hey, that's a good impression. I wish I could do that. Yeah,
it's a great impression. I'm real good at impressions of minor characters that no one pays attention to very much. Yeah. I actually I play Among Us every once in a while when I get bored. And I went into an open room somewhere and they all had usernames of like Bakugo and Deku and Kaminari. And
it was probably me.
It's so much. And so I was just like, I don't know these kids. I'm going to tell them. So I was like, hey, fun fact. I played Bakugo's mom in the English animation. And they were like, based. And I was like, I don't know what that means, but okay.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
Hold on. I'm looking it up now.
Go ahead and look it up.
Because, going back to when we brought up William Hung, I looked it up. And I want y'all to take a guess on what William Hung does right now in 2021.
Does he have a karaoke bar?
No, he does not.
Is he a model?
No.
He's a manager of a Costco's.
No, he is in the what's it called? Not the police force, but he's like a detective.
For real?
Yes.
Shut up.
Yo.
Oh,
Yes.
Beautiful.
He uses those moves to
Good
stop
for
crime.
him.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Like
Straight out of an anime.
That could be a
Oh,
whole
Lord.
show.
Hey,
That's
bro,
how he
it's
stops
like,
crime. She bang. And
it's
sings
like,
He
that-
bang.
or he bang.
It's like that
The
meme
gun.
with Leonardo DiCaprio on it, where it's like the criminal's just like, "Hey, you're," and
Oh,
he's like,
yeah,
"You're
yeah.
damn right." There, he's like, "Freeze." Yeah, that could be a TV show. I'd watch it.
Hey, it's
Yo.
coming to the CW next month.
Hey, relax.
So-
It can happen.
So look, now I feel like, we're like the old people sitting at a table. Who y'all the word, I just looked this up, bro. Based.
What,
Right?
Base.
Look, originally it was a slang term meaning that you were addicted to crack cocaine.
Love that.
Yeah. base.
However,
How'd they know?
it has been reformed to not caring what others think of you and to carry yourself with swagger.
Ah, okay.
Well, they've got that right.
So
So
we went from crack cocaine to swagger.
You got
Oh, God.
swag.
I don't know. It was probably some 14-year-old was like based, and I was like,
Based.
"What does that mean? Speak
Yep.
real words to me, child."
I feel
Yes.
like the way you're saying it though is exactly how they said it, like to themselves. Under
Based.
this.
That base. Yeah,
Base.
So spot on.
it's like what was that skit on Saturday Night Live where Pete Davidson and the dude like they were rapping and
Oh yeah,
I think the song was like it's like skirt skirt.
yeah,
And
skirt.
I'm like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what does that mean?
Rolled up, popped up.
Jesus.
Yes,
No,
so
but
dumb. Freaking love that song.
it's crazy because like when I was in high school, there was this teacher named Mr. Weber, and for some odd reason, it annoyed him whenever people would say jank, and he looked up what jank meant, and on
Yep.
Urban Dictionary, it meant dingaling.
Right.
So,
Yep.
so pretty much, he was just like whenever somebody said jank, they were talking about a dingaling. And,
Take a leg.
and so I used to troll this man. I would have a drink. I'd be like, "Man, this jank is good," and he was like, he'd be like, "Oh, so you're drinking a jank in the can?" I was just like, "Yeah, man, it's really good. It's nice and sweet, just like I like."
Oh, Jesus.
You know
No,
what's what? I didn't know that. I used to say jank all the time.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
slang
It was
back in the
just-
day.
And to me,
I
it
mean-
just meant a thing. Like that was it. It was just a thing.
Yep.
Exactly, but
I
It
didn't
no,
know-
was a thing, all
I
right.
didn't know the thing was a dingaling, as Banks likes to say.
no, it's crazy. And I remember it got to the point where he he made a rule where if you said
Uh-huh.
jank,
Uh-huh.
you had to do push-ups. So every time you said jank, like I remember because Jamel, he was in the class too.
Uh-huh.
And I remember like we started just getting to the point where we would just be like jank, 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 jank. And he'd be like, that's 5 push-ups.
Jank, 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 jank,
And
jank.
I remember I looked at him and I was just like, jank, 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 jank. And then he was just like, keep it going, keep it going. What was the movie, The Breakfast Club?
Yeah,
Remember?
you want another one?
Yeah,
wanna-
You
yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was fun, man.
Well, hold
Fun time.
on. I don't want to move off this. Right?
No,
Yeah.
You got
Snowball?
any teacher stories?
Teacher stories.
Yeah.
Mm. No,
Anything funny?
I was a super quiet kid in all my regular classes.
You never had a teacher that had like a weird saying or something that sticks in your head?
Oh God, if I did, it's long gone. I've repressed it.
I know D has
Look.
one.
Hey,
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
Kylie.
Talk about Mr. Dabney?
Mr.
Mr.
Dabney.
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 Mr. Dabney used to be
Hey,
like
let's-
Tupac mode.
All eyes on me. Uh-huh.
He really
he
said
says-
Tupac mode?
Yeah.
That's
And then he say
beautiful.
stuff like, you don't play with a puppy, because if you play with a puppy, it'll lick you in the face. And people be like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you
So-
play with a bull, you get the horn. He said all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was
so
like, if
corny.
you're feeling froggy, then leave.
Yeah, Lee.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. He said all that.
Look, Kylie's teacher, she's Kylie's 8, and she comes home, she's like copies the saying that the teacher has. She says, now we're cooking with Crisco. And Kylie just says it all the time now. And it got me thinking,
That's
I
cute.
had this teacher, right? And when you acted up in class, he used to be like, Mr. Martin, why don't you go ahead and hit that dough? And he made me go stand outside. Like I have to go walk around the door and sit in the corner.
Nah, man, I remember in 7th grade, I had a teacher named Mr. Cliff, and whenever you would like when people would be talking loud, he would just be like, "Stifle yourself," and I'm just like, "What the hell does stifle?"
You know what stifle means?
Like, no, I did. Like at the time,
calm down.
I didn't know. Like, we just used to make fun of him when he would tell us to stifle.
Trav, I'm glad you told me that story. From now on, we'll be like, Miss Glass, go ahead and hit that door.
Hit that door. Hey, he used to say, hit that door, and why don't you go ahead and get in that corner? And he would make us stand in the corner. We're like we're like 13. I'm over here standing in the corner.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. Why don't you go ahead and hit that door?
Oh man, no. D, do you remember?
Hey, does the D stand for dough?
Rebellious dough.
D, do you remember the dean at Lake Taylor? And one of his catchphrases was, "It's like whenever he was suspending somebody, he'd be like, dang boy." He's just like, "You just got a 2-piece and a biscuit. We ain't gonna see you."
Mr. Rogers.
It's like
was
a
it Mr.
2-piece
Rogers?
and a biscuit. No, it was. I think it was Mr. Rogers.
Yeah,
Like a
Mr. Rogers.
2-piece and a
Mr.
biscuit.
Rogers.
Yep.
Did he have the sweater?
No.
There was this my English teacher, Mr. Herschel. He used to have the ball. He used to have the
Mr.
crown.
Herschel.
Yeah,
We started.
he had the ponytail in the
I was
back,
about
and
to
then
say he
always wore the sweater vest?
like a Herschel.
Herschel.
He had the
Herschel.
sweater
What a
vest.
great
People
old
used to
man
joke him.
Yes.
Oh no.
Hey, that
Dude, this guy.
I guarantee
had-
the Herschel was Texas born and raised. That
I hope
Herschel.
so.
Dude, fun story about that
Better
guy.
been.
So I had a straight A my senior year in his class all year. Then one of the representatives from college came in to do the little thing, so I just slept through it. And he immediately gave me an E and told me it was worth 3 test grades. And took me down to the C. My mom called the school and she was hot.
Oh yeah,
That's
for
all I
sure.
got.
Yeah, like that's
I was
great.
like, damn, what if I'm not going to college? What do you want? It was-
Yeah, I remember like in driver's ed, if we weren't driving, we had to sit in the back seat, and it's like I had a job at the time, so it's like I was tired from work, so I took a nap in the back seat and I got an E. And I'm just like, are you serious? It's like, what do I have to pay attention to? Like, I'm just sitting in the back seat, not doing
You're a
anything.
passenger.
You gotta pay attention. I used
Gotta
to be
pay
a
attention.
I used to be a receptionist at a driving school, so yeah, no, I know all those stories. Yeah.
What they
Gotta
hit
pay
you with
attention.
if you were driving, you would have failed at life right now. They hit you with that one.
I'm just like, no, I'm
What if you were driving, like hypothetically, like
No, I'm
Yeah,
good.
right.
But I do find it funny. And Rachel, this is what happens here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Like, I don't even remember what we were talking about. It just snowballed.
and it was great.
It just snowballed into.
I was like, yeah, let's stay right here, and then we just
yeah,
drove
that's
on.
what Trav said. Yeah, let's.
Oh,
yeah.
hold on. Well, then I'm just bring up another guy, gym teacher, Mr. OT. He used to tell crazy stories, and his ass was lying, man. He talked about like how a train ran over his toes and cut off 4 of his toes, and all he had left was his pinky toe. And he used to line up everybody in the line and just be like, "All right, now combination A, combination B."
And how'd he get a job? He sounds crazy.
He was nuts. He had like missing teeth, and he looks like he sounds. He looks
Trav,
like
what school would you go to?
No,
They were desperate. They were desperate for teachers. They're
this
like,
man.
you got no
He was an
misdemeanors?
imposter.
Come on in.
Jesus.
Hey, and he had a Hummer. He had a Hummer at the time, a Hummer
I
2.
remember those.
jeez.
And this is when Hummer 2s were hot back in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he used to always be in class, I got me a Hummer. Just be
What
talking
was this guy's
about his
name,
Hummer.
Trav?
I don't know, but we all called him OT. I don't know what
OT was.
It
The fake
sounded like a
OT.
villain
The
name.
real OT was probably in the trunk of that Hummer.
This guy's like Harry Potter. He just stole Mad-Eyed Moody.
Drinking the potion.
No,
The
that's
Had that
only-
flash, did he?
The only like main teachers I remember from like high school and stuff were my theater and my choir teachers because they hated each other. So
That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Like
Oh,
school
shit.
fight.
God, it was. You thought the adults would have it together, but no.
Nope.
So I was in choir and theater all 4 years, and it was a mess. Because by the end, there were like 4 like overlap kids, and we were like, I don't know, the mediators between divorcing parents. It was so bad. Oh, but
What
my
was the
choir
beef?
teacher, just everything. just existence, like use of the theater space, I guess. I don't know, because like we all had to use it. But like my choir teacher, every time like we did something bad, she would just come in and turn the lights off like we were birds in a cage, and she'd be like, "We're gonna have a come to Jesus talk." And I was like, "This is public school. I don't think you can say that." But
that sounds like some South stuff right
there. It is 100% South. It's Texas stuff right there. She's like, "We're gonna have a come to Jesus. There's no music today. We're gonna talk about your behavior." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Am I getting therapy? Choir class? What's happening?
Was there any goats or blood rituals involved?
Not that time. Rituals. No.
Now you want to hear a cool story about class? Was 5th grade. We had a birthday party for this chick Kelly. I still remember her name, and she brought in. The teacher said she could bring in a movie. And this is back when you didn't need permission slips to watch a movie.
Yeah.
She brought in the VHS of Dead Zone, Dragon Ball Z Dead Zone.
Yeah.
We had pizza and we watched Dead Zone right there in my 5th grade class for Kelly's birthday.
That's sick.
Hey, that was fire. I'm still talking. I'm talking about it 20 years later, so you know it made an impression.
Oh yeah, of course.
I probably had to say my coolest moment was I was a freshman in high school, and it was the summertime, and in gym class. Like pretty much we didn't have to do anything. So the teacher,
hold on, summertime in gym class.
Yeah, like this. I want to say it was like June.
You mean like the end of the year?
Yeah, like the end. Yeah,
okay.
Because like June is the start of the summertime.
You don't make you do anything.
So it's like the gym teacher, like he just had us in there watching movies and whatnot. So I had asked him, I was just like, "Hey, is it cool if I bring my PS2 up here?" And he was just like, "Yeah, that's fine." I brought the PS2. We was playing SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain, NFL Street. Like it was. I felt so badass because I had a multi-tap. Yeah. So it's like multiple people could play the game, not just 2 people. And yeah, it was a fun time. But I will say that I held on to my backpack tight because if that PS2 would have got stolen, do you know?
You're not getting another one. Absolutely
I was about to say, what would Mama Banks have done?
She would have whooped my ass.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And like my brother would have been pissed because then that would have meant that we would have had to gone back to playing our 64 and PlayStation. And it's just like the PS2 was the hottest system out at the time. So
yeah, your eyes would have hurt playing that PlayStation.
Hey, that's so funny because in Votech, you know how they used to have the school security guards who sat at the front desk?
Yeah.
This dude at Votech, when I was taking radio and television over at Votech, we brought Mr. Gardner let us bring in our PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
And I brought out the PS2. And this dude went, is that a PlayStation? I went, nah, man, it's a PlayStation 2. He went, oh, man. Like the excitement in his eyes, dude. And I'll just never forget it. I lost it right there. Like he had never seen a PlayStation 2. It went, oh, man.
It was like the Sham Wow guy.
The Sham Wow guy. I prefer him in Slapshot.
Yeah.
No, but it
that's
was
that.
cool. No, it was cool. Hey, it was cool reliving the high school moments. I mean, like we all really showed our age here, and at least we know what base means now. You know what I'm saying?
Base.
Yeah, I mean, now we can just say base, and we know what it means. We don't feel like Steve Buscemi where he's holding the skateboard and it's like
how do you do, fellow youths?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What movie was that from? Grown Ups?
I have no idea.
No, it's not Grown Ups. This
wasn't from Grown Ups too.
I just know
that was way before Grown Ups.
What was it? Mr. Deeds?
No, because he was Crazy Eyes and Mr. Deeds.
Okay, I don't remember.
I don't remember neither.
I don't remember, but
because
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say in Grown Ups. Remember, he broke both his arms.
That's right.
And Grown Ups, and he couldn't play in the basketball
game. From 30 Rock.
30 Rock. Okay.
Oh wow! See, I've never watched 30 Rock.
Oh, 30 Rock's a great show.
I'll add it to the list.
Yeah. Sure.
See, here we go.
I mean,
but
I watched Parks and Rec last year for the first time, and I loved it.
Finally.
So, and I'm one of those people that will say that Parks and Rec is better than The Office. Even though I love The Office, I think Parks and Rec is better.
And Aubrey Plaza just got married on the low, in secret. So
love that for her.
My bae is gone. She's off the market.
Keep swinging, Trav.
I missed my chance, man.
Yeah, you should have shot your shot. It's like what Rachel said
Back
earlier.
to the drawing board, as they say.
It's just like Rachel tried to warn me earlier. I didn't listen.
It's all right.
But I gotta ask though before we get out of here is what books are you reading though? Because I tell everybody, if you look at my bookshelf, you think it's a 13-year-old girl's bookshelf.
CD, I told you. I told you he said that, and you was just like,
that's right.
You was just like, did he really say that?
I said, don't you put that on my man, Trav.
Bro, I mean, both. Do you read? Have you ever heard of the House of Night book series?
No. I
Okay.
haven't.
Well, it's just vampires, fairies, wizards. Both my kids are named after characters from the House of Night.
That's cool.
And yeah, I mean, that's just my bookshelf, dude. I'm in the preteen girl books. So, yeah, what are you reading?
Currently I read a ton on Kindle Unlimited, and they're mostly like fantasy romance books because I love me a happy ending. But oh, excuse me. Like I grew up on like Tamara Pierce books. Like they were like my jam because they were like female warriors kicking butt, breaking barriers, and I was like, something speaks to me in here. I don't know yet the words, but I want to be Alana the Lioness. Anyway, so I loved those when I was a kid. I loved like the Bloody Jack series, which is again a girl dressing as a boy on a pirate ship to, you know, like do stuff and have adventures. So
it's the pirate version of Mulan.
Yeah, pretty much. It's
like
a great series. It's so good. I read Aragon when I was a kid, probably middle school, high school. I loved that.
You were disappointed when you saw that movie? Like we all were.
Sure was. I was like, oh, it's pretty, but it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. Yeah, Christopher Paolini is one of my favorite authors. I love, again, Tamara Pierce. I love J.D. Robb. I love so many. If I could show you, because my room's a mess, I have probably upwards of like 300 books on my shelf right now that I'm just looking at going, what do I like to read? Right. Yes. Yeah, I love a ton of books. I could read pretty much anything other than like, I don't know, a math book. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I mean, like, I mean, when it comes to reading and whatnot, for you to say that you have so many books. Now I want to ask you, because I want to say, what is it like for video games, for example, right? It's just like you start a video game, then a new video game comes out, and then it's like that video game just gets put away and you never go back to it. Is it the same with books, or is it like when you start a book, you finish it, then you move to the next book?
Oh, that is incorrect. So incorrect. I love knowing what's going to happen in a book, so I'll reread books like over the years. I literally just finished a 3-book series on my phone that I've read before, so because I love that comfort of knowing what's going to happen, but still not remembering like enough of the details where you're like, it's just interesting enough. Yeah, no, I have probably about 4 books on my bookshelf right now that I have started, probably got like 65 pages in, and then I was like, I'll come back. I haven't. I haven't. I got busy. I played a video game in between, and so
that's sidetrack, and that's perfectly fine. You know, sometimes it happens. You know what I'm saying, and then you just have so many things that you either got to read or you got to play, and it's just like for me, I started Kingdom Hearts 3 when it first came out. I still haven't beat it. It was so like after Trav told me what happened, I was just like, you know, there aren't any Final Fantasy characters and I don't want to play anymore. Just like,
that's fair.
You know,
I started Kingdom Hearts 2, and then I was just messing around, like doing, I think it's Hercules Coliseum for forever, and I was like, I'm done. I don't need to play anymore.
That's how it be.
It's good enough.
It's crazy because the Final Fantasy IX remastered had come out, I want to say like a couple of months afterwards. And I was just like, I'd rather play this than play Kingdom Hearts 3. And that's my favorite Final Fantasy game. And I already know what's going to happen in it. But at the same time, I hadn't played it since the early 2000s. So it's like how you were saying, when you read books, it's like you already know what's going to happen. But if you haven't read it in a while, you
don't remember every detail.
You don't remember every detail. And that's the magic of, you know, watching stuff, reading, playing video games. It's like,
it's the comfort of like slipping back into a place where you vaguely know, but you're still able to like rediscover things.
Yeah.
Well, also back then you couldn't hit the map and it will tell you like, I need to go to town square. Back then it was like, man, if you stop playing for a little bit don't remember what happened, sorry, dude, you better start replaying.
Yeah.
Because nobody's just gonna tell you where to go. You got to just remember.
Yeah. And see, and I'm one of the things that I wish that more video games would do, and this is one thing that I loved about Dragon Quest XI, was like, say if you hadn't played the game in a couple of months, like it told you this is what happened last time. You know what I'm saying? And then it brings you up. It brings you up to speed, and then you get into the game, because there's times where you play a game and you might not, like Kingdom Hearts, for example. It's like I haven't played it since last year, so I don't know where I'm supposed to go next. I don't know what's the adventure up to this point. So it would be cool if more video games did that. But yeah, Rachel, I just want to say thank you for joining us up here. Trav, you asked your final question. D, I know that you said that you had this very special new final question that you wanted to,
let me put on my armor. For
that. Oh yeah, hey, Trav, hey, it's time. Okay, so I guess I got two questions for you. First, do you have a favorite movie from the 80s or 90s?
Yes.
What is it?
It's Practical Magic with Sandra Bullock.
Oh, so good.
Oh, good movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite films of
and my mom and my sister used to watch that constantly.
It's just so good. It's just so good. The soundtrack is just Shania Twain having a great time, and I have a great time. It's Sandra Bullock,
baby.
Yeah, it's Sandra Bullock in high-waisted shorts, and you're like, wait a minute, this is beautiful.
Now, Banks, have you seen Practical Magic before?
Hey, you see how it is.
Why are you asking?
This is a new tradition. This is a new tradition. Put it on the list. Yeah, and then, by me doing it this way, it's already logged. You can go listen to the end of every episode and figure out what you didn't watch.
I love that I get put on the spot at that. I wasn't expecting you to ask me that. And okay, all right, Jigsaw.
Yeah, okay. And finally, was there a movie or I guess a cartoon or anything that scared you when you were coming up? Do you have a favorite scary movie? Or
I hate scary movies so much. But I blame
what scared you then?
Scream.
Okay.
It scared the crap out of me.
You said you hated them. Usually there's a reason.
Oh no! Well, the thing is my siblings would control the TV because there was one in our house, and they wanted to watch Scream, and I was like, I don't know what a horror film is because I'm a child. And they made me sit on the ground, and our couch was elevated and had these like the dust flaps underneath it. So I was just absolutely certain someone was going to grab me from underneath them.
Yeah,
and it's the first Scream movie. I know it's not even that scary of a movie because I've watched it again as an adult. But little childhood Rachel is just like, no, he's hiding in every cabinet in my house.
It's very obvious when you go back and watch Scream. Like, you don't see it the first time, but it's one of the more obvious.
Yeah, it's like a M. Night movie where it's like when you're watching The Sixth Sense, you're like, dude, how the hell did I not see that coming? Like,
yeah, exactly. That's a good comparison.
He gave me nothing but breadcrumbs the whole entire film. How did I not see it? But that blew me away with the desk flaps because they don't make furniture like that anymore. And I haven't seen a couch with dust flaps since my grandma's couch.
That's what I was thinking, man.
It was an old like floral couch.
I was about to say it.
The flower
print. Mine is the early 2000s.
Those only came in one print, baby.
Hey,
big ugly flower.
You remember when you would be watching a movie? Like, do you watch a movie from the 90s or something and go, I had those bed sheets?
Wait a minute.
Sometimes you see stuff you actually had in your house.
As a kid, You don't get that in movies no more.
No,
I don't think I watch a movie and I see that same thing at Walmart. You know what I mean? Don't happen.
No, I mean, that's how it is. I mean, I'll say like a lot of the stuff that you see in movies nowadays, I mean, it's more commonplace. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like we all have that. Whereas like how you said back in the 90s, like it'd be like, I remember my grandma had that. Like that like the cookie jar. Well,
yeah,
the blue cookie tin, and then when you open it up, and it was
Has
just filled
sewing
with
supplies.
bladders. And
Yeah.
it's just like, God, Grandma, thanks.
It's like whoever. When did you initially buy those cookies? Because like I've never opened them and had cookies.
30 years ago.
Where
I
did
have
they come
had cookies before. Like,
from the blue tin?
But it was like
you're talking about the assorted ones.
Yeah, the assorted date.
Assorted ones. Yeah, I've had cookies from that before.
They were like different sugar cookies.
No,
and
Yeah.
Now
we
sugars on them.
Hey, we do get the popcorn tin every year. That's got like the three different kinds of popcorn.
Oh yeah, that's the way you do it.
That's the good
I'm
stuff.
not a fan of that.
And I only eat the caramel
stuff.
and I leave that stuff for the kids.
I'm not saying it's like amazing, but
No,
it's
amazing.
nostalgic.
Yes,
Good.
very.
Well, that's why it's
nostalgic.
yeah.
Great
I
word.
know, I know when me and my brother were younger, we would always eat the butter ones, and we would eat the caramel, and then
what was the other one? Cheese.
Yeah,
that
white cheddar.
White cheddar.
That just stayed in the can.
Oh, you're crazy. White cheddar was the best, bro. I don't like the caramel because it sticks to my teeth.
That's fair. I didn't like whenever you would reach in and then you get something and you're like, wait, this is one of the other ones that I didn't choose. No.
And you eat it while you're not looking.
And all the flavors have meshed and you're like,
Oh no, yeah, those were the days, man. But Rachel, thank you so much for joining us up here on
thank
Leveling
you
Up
guys.
with
It's a lot of fun.
Hey, that's what we do.
The number one rule. The number one rule. Combination.
Have fun. It's like, your fans that listen to this, it's like they're going to hear all these interesting and cool stories from the past and whatnot. Some people are going to finally learn what based means. You know what I'm saying? So we're wrapping that up. Thank you again for joining us. Let everybody in social media land know where they can find Rachel Glass at.
I am on Twitter at Rachel Glass VO, RachelGlassVO. And I am on TikTok under the same name. And I think I'm on Instagram, but I think that's private, so don't worry about that one.
Don't worry about it.
Hey, and if you find her on Instagram, don't add her because it's private.
Leave me alone.
It's private for a reason.
Let me have one place where you don't get to talk to me.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I'm kidding. I love talking to everybody.
But AD, now that you're back in the world of the living, tell them where they can find you at.
First and foremost, Miss Glass, hit the door.
I will.
Hit the door.
Hit the door. No, thanks for leveling up with us today. And you can find me at rebellious_D23 at Instagram.com. Trav,
Ooh.
I almost pulled the trigger on that one.
Almost.
I almost pulled the trigger on that bad boy.
But since you're on the Instagrams already, you can find me at ZK Audio. And you can also find me on the Twitter at TravioSZK. And if somebody is in need of a hero, good sir, where they going to find one at?
You can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. And you can look me up on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again, everybody, for watching and listening. Listening. Why do I keep saying listening? Like, what is that? Why do I keep saying that? Thank you for watching and listening to Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Like I always say, keep that pinky up and stay positive. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.